Way done.
All right, everybody. I'm putting this headline up here because I watch these things all the time for headlines for robots and for what's going on that's taking our jobs and going to change our economy. And they say here 38% of U.S. jobs within about 15 years, and I think it's going to be way more than that. And a lot of the jobs at the lower end are going to go first, but the high-end jobs are going too. For example, in the financial business, they actually have computer systems now that can take the place of an experienced analyst looking over properties for investment. It's just amazing what's being able to done. So these guys that have been earning, $500,000 a year, all of a sudden are out of a job with no skills to do anything else. So I think that the world's going to change drastically, and blockchain technology and cryptocurrency is just leading the charge. It's just, you just almost can't imagine what's coming, what's going to happen here today. But the one thing we know for sure, we're in constant change. And it's going to be that way for some time. So you want to get over here and get yourself financially protected by getting into the Gladiacoin thing and get some Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is projected to be worth well over $1 million per coin in the not too distant future. And I can see that that's on its way. Because in 2008, this thing was nothing more than on a piece of paper, somebody's pipe dream. And then some coders got a hold of it, started coding. Next thing you know, we got Bitcoin tokens. And people were actually using them and purchased the pizza back there in 2009. That was the first transaction. Now, the value in 2010 was still only a dime. But in 2016, it really began to ramp up. It's about $900 average. This year, it's been well up to $1,250. And it goes up and down. And that's to our advantage, by the way. Don't let the pricing on the Bitcoin bother you. There are only 21 million coins, and those coins are going to be chased by 7.5 billion people. So when you talk about value, you're talking about scarcity. Scarcity creates value. And that's one of the things that people like about this Bitcoin program, because they can't inflate it. A lot of the different kinds of digital currencies that are going to be out there, they're going to be able to inflate. And they're going to inflate them simply because they're going to need them for some reason. But they're not going to be the storehouse of value like Bitcoin is going to be. Now, these companies have a very vested interest in looking at Bitcoin and following that technology, and even providing some investment in it, because they want to find ways to use the blockchain technology, because they're going to lose a big portion of their business. We don't need these guys anymore. We don't need them to transmit money and act as some kind of a doorkeeper. Permission about how much we can transfer, when we can transfer, and what we can do with our money. People want anonymity and they want privacy. And that's how it should be when you're using money. And the money doesn't belong to the government. For example, all the fiat currencies out there, they all belong to the governments, and they're controlled by a group of people at the top all the time, which control the rest of us through that money. Now, Bitcoin comes along, and Bitcoin has real value, and people will buy those things from you. In fact, many people now are taking Bitcoins as payments for goods and services. And frankly, I'm one of those guys. I'm on that bandwagon already. I'd be glad to take Bitcoin for a lot of my services. No more fiat. I just don't want to mess with them anymore. Besides, every time we do that, we help usher in a better age where we don't have to deal with those bankers and all this debt-based stuff, which is causing us so much trouble. Look at the rationale they use for all this debt, and they use the money for things a lot of us just don't even approve of. So what you need is a Bitcoin e-wallet. Now, an e-wallet's nothing more like your bank account down on the corner. You're probably going to be dealing with your bank account like that too for a while, because the tellers are going bye-bye. I don't know about you, but in my neighborhood, banks that had a whole bank of tellers, they just don't have them anymore. It's a real problem. And they're finding out that more and more people just don't trust the banks, and they don't want anything to do with them. Wells Fargo's got a real problem in that its user base is dropping rapidly. So we have everybody get a blockchain wallet. That's the easiest one. That's the largest company. It's the easiest one for a beginner to start with. Coinbase has 6.5 million users, but there's something wrong with those guys, because people are having a very, very hard time trying to buy coin. It's almost impossible to get them to sell you any Bitcoin anymore. Local Bitcoins is a peer-to-peer arrangement. There are companies on there, but there are also an awful lot of individuals that have Bitcoins that they're willing to sell. They make their own little market, buy and selling. And that's a good, fast way to get yourself some Bitcoins. And if you find a good provider, get to know them, make some friends, because everybody's going to want Bitcoin. And, you can't have too much. Somebody's always going to want to buy it from you. So that's one of the reasons why you want to accumulate as much as you can. Zappo, CoPay, and BitPay are different wallets, and they have Visa card. BitPay has a Visa card, so you can actually put your coins over there, and they take care of any kind of conversion that needs to be done wherever you're located at, and you can use that debit card just like any other debit card. The safe over there represents the hardware wallets. Hardware wallets are a way that you can actually remove your Bitcoins from the internet and actually store them in a hardware wallet that you can control and keep with you at all times. And you know, if you got to go someplace, you're going to go somewhere, you can't take your gold, you can't take your silver, can't take a lot of things with you, but you certainly can take your hardware wallets and you can take your cards. Those aren't considered money. They aren't considered any kind of threat. They're not exposed to anything. So there's a way to be ready to go and take that extended vacation at a moment's notice if you need to for a natural disaster or any other reason that might pop up that you'd want to do it. Now, again, as we were talking about people shopping with Bitcoins, there's 100,000 companies in the United States right now that do that. You can go online and look them up. You can even go online and find the companies, tell them what you want to buy, and they'll find a company that offers that and takes Bitcoins for it. Pretty cool. Look at the guy there. He's using his cell phone. See, that's why I think a lot of these other companies are just, we don't need them because the cell phone can transfer those Bitcoins right there to the register, and the company accepts Bitcoin for the coffee. Great. Let's see more of that going on here. Now, trading is what they do here. This the people that did Gladiacoin do high-speed robo-trading. Same thing they did for currencies in the Forex market. Only they're applying those techniques over here to the cryptocurrencies. And because there is such a high volatility in the pricing, you know, the speed with which we go up and down, that's the velocity. But the fact that there's these wide spreads in Bitcoin, like right now we're around $900, $950, somewhere in that neighborhood, maybe a little lower. But, you know, a couple of weeks ago, it was at $12.50. And the fact that it changed value that fast is amazing, you know, because it changes a bunch. It's not a quarter of a point or anything like that. You know, when you talk about changes in fiat currency, you talk about basis points. Basis points are 1/100th of a percent. Okay? That's pretty tiny. And yet people make fortunes on that. Well, the spreads here are much, much greater than that. And that's one of the reasons why they can produce such a high quality of Bitcoins for the trading. And they're doing a great job at it too. But what makes that really possible are the cryptocurrency exchanges. See, those exchanges are set up in different countries. A lot of the countries are trying to license them so that they can try to control them, especially over in China and other countries. US is another one. Other countries don't care. They don't consider it money, and that's fine with me. Now, here are the benefits. The basic idea here is we're going to duplicate your coins in 90 days. So you put your coins in, put 4 Bitcoin in, and 90 days later, if you just let it sit there, it's going to come back to you as 8. It's fully automated. You're dealing with a computer and a robo-trader. It receives the Bitcoin, and it trades the Bitcoin, all automatically according to its program. There's nothing tedious you have to do. You have to follow your account because when that contract gets close to being completed, that is doubled in 90 days, or less actually, you have to renew the contract, and I'll tell you exactly why in a few minutes. They do daily payments. They don't keep any of the proceeds. All that trading money, that comes right back to you in your own blockchain wallet or whatever wallet you have. They don't keep it. See, banks and insurance companies, when you buy their guaranteed contracts like CDs and annuities, they keep everything. They keep the principal and they keep the interest, and they don't give it to you until later. If you take it out early, there's these huge penalties to pay. We don't have to worry about that here. Everything runs just like clockwork. They do what they say they're going to do, and they do it when they say they're going to do it. We've already talked a little bit about it being an international presence. A Bitcoin in Australia is the same as a Bitcoin in Iceland. It's the same as a Bitcoin in Japan. You don't even need to go anywhere near a bank or any kind of currency conversions. It all happens in real time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This thing just keeps plopping Bitcoins right there in your account. All you need is a phone to run it. You don't need any more. And that's really cool because what do you think is going to happen when those 2.5 billion people who have no banking relationship right now decide that they want to get in and get some commerce going? Now they can do it because they can do it right here with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies that are out there as well. And all they need is a phone. They don't need anything else. They don't need any signature cards at a bank. They don't need any long agreements. You just download the app and you're in business. You know, you can do whatever you want. But you see, it's the optional binary network that allows this thing to accelerate because the guarantee is that the coins will double in 90 days. But they also will double sooner. And if they double sooner, they've met the contract agreement and the contract terminates. You literally can double 365 days a year. See, if you just put the money in on a passive basis, and I mean the Bitcoin in on a passive basis, it's slow. It's 90 days. But if you actually refer somebody, you get paid a referral fee anywhere between 5 and 15%. That's pretty cool. You accumulate a pool of about 50 Bitcoins down below you because every point on the system is a Bitcoin. And you're cycling every single day, every single day, every single day. 4 in that day, the following day you take 8 out. 4 in, 8 out. 4 in, 8 out. Who doesn't like that? We've already been covered that pretty close, pretty amply. I don't even need that slide anymore, I don't think. Okay, so here's the way it's done. Some people do not want to refer. That's what they say. We're going to put some money, or we're going to put some money down. We're going to go buy some Bitcoins, and we're going to go try this out. But I don't think I really want to do any referral. And you know, those people light right up, boy. They start referring. They start telling people what they're doing because people talk. That's what they do. So passively, you get 2.2% daily. Everybody gets the 2.2% daily when they put their Bitcoins in. But a lot of us are referring, and we're building teams of people who want to do the same thing we're doing once they find out that they can do it. And so we're building teams, and it took us, we started at the lowest possible starting spot and worked our way through. It took us 19 days to get up to the Spartacus 7, which is the 4 Bitcoin level. And we did it by referral. We just told people about it, showed them what was going on, and they said, hey, I want to do that. Okay, so the binary network is important, and there's a couple things you need to know about it. One is a suggested way that you actually do it. And see, here's you at the top, right there. You come on and take a position and make that position as high as you can, highest plan as possible. 4 Bitcoin is max. And then what you do is you take a lesser plan right below you and this side. You have to do 2 personal referrals in order to be eligible to receive a comp from the binary program. Those 2 positions might as well be you. Why do I say that? Well, because it's to your benefit. In other words, you're going to be here, you get this one pumping out 8 Bitcoin a day. You have built a leg down there on the right, and you have built one down on the left. Well, look at that. That's half of the work for this position because this line goes right through there, goes right through that person. So all you have to do is the other half is put some people on the inside leg, and you're now getting 8 Bitcoin over here every single day. Okay? And then over here on the left-hand side, the same thing. That outer leg has already been built, so all you have to do is work on the inside leg. No big deal. Easy. And now you have 3 positions generating 8 Bitcoin a day. Phenomenal. That's quite a chunk. Even today's pricing, multiply that out. Do the math. Okay. Now, the one thing you need to know about that is this renewal process. So what happens is that when people come on, everybody gets the doubling, and everybody is renewing because they want to retain the binary. Okay, that's the important thing to understand. If you don't renew your contract within that 24 hours, you're out. You're not in this line anymore. You're out over here someplace, sitting there. So you got to make sure you do your renewal. If you're going to be on vacation, take your computer with you. If you're not going to be on vacation, you're going to be doing something else, get a trusted friend to watch it for you. They know when it's getting close to doubling, so do you. And when you're close to that thing going to be doubled, you want to have somebody there to press that button and to send the Bitcoins in so that you can renew your contract. Well, why do you want to do that? Because you've already built these positions. And they have to have you there in order to pay you, right? So if you step out of that thing and you can just go totally on the passive side, you're not renewing your contract, you lose it because these guys have to go up to the other people because the computer has to run the calculations and they can't have a dead spot. Got it? That's why. Anyway, just renew. You'd be happy if you did. All right, I want to give you a disclosure here. We make every effort to ensure that we accurately represent the products and services of Gladiacoin and the potential for economic gain. Earnings and or Bitcoin income statements made by the company or members are estimates of what you can possibly receive. There is no guarantee that you will make these level of Bitcoins, and you accept the risk that the earnings and Bitcoin income statements differ by individual. The examples are not to be interpreted as any guarantee, promise, representation, and or assurance. We do not purport Gladiacoin and us as being a get-rich-quick scheme. I've put the quick in there finally. Okay. So here we are. This is the basic plan that you could start with right here. You only want to do this if you really can't get up into the higher plans, because it's a way for you to get there. You don't get any doubling, but you do have the ability to actually refer people and receive 5% of the binary money off the low leg. That allows you to build up to this plan, which is where you really want to start if you're going to start on the low end, because it doubles. So you get the doubling, plus you can get the 6% binary, okay? That's what you want. But there's a couple other plans here, but on the lower end, you really want to get up to Spartacus 4, if you can start right there at a half a Bitcoin. So you can start at half a Bitcoin, and you could put a 0.1 or a 0.05 on the two spots below you just to hold them until you got some money in, because this is going to go much faster than these other plans, because you get 9% referral fee on the binary when you refer people. You can earn 1 Bitcoin daily. That's 30 a month. That's pretty good. But here's the sweetheart plans right here. Spartacus 5, 6, and 7. Why? Well, they're full Bitcoins for one. The other thing is that the binary percent of referral is much, much better. On a Spartacus 5, it's 11%. 6 is 13%, and Spartacus 7 is 15%. And when you're getting 8 Bitcoin a day, that's phenomenal. That's an amazing accomplishment for anybody. And everybody can actually do it, because everybody is excited and everybody wants to get the Bitcoin stuff going for themselves. Now, that's 240 Bitcoin a month. Well, do the math. If Bitcoin's running right around $1,000 times 240, how much is that? See, what you have to do is you have to sell the Bitcoins, because people are going to pay for them. You're not going to get stuck with Bitcoins. Don't ever think so. They're going to be absolutely in demand because they're so scarce. Now's your opportunity to get in there and get some. We could have done it years ago. We could have gotten a lot of them for free, but we didn't. I knew about it. I chose not to do that. I feel really kind of silly, because I can see the way this thing has gone, and it's passed all kinds of challenges and hurdles, and it's just getting stronger every day, and more people want to get their hands on Bitcoin. It's really in demand. So you want to start to the highest position as you possible on the top spot, and then you put a lower amount on the other spots until you can get ready to do them and get them pumping out the 8 Bitcoin a day. Think about that. 24 Bitcoin a day is 3 times the 240, 720 Bitcoin a day. Do the math, kids. Just take the price and multiply it right now. If you're in a different country, you're going to have lira, you're going to have rubles, whatever. Just use whatever number you're familiar with. Multiply and see if that fits your lifestyle. Would it change your lifestyle? Would it help you? Would it get you out of debt? Would it protect you from all the job losses that are coming? You may think you're in an industry that is immune to all these job changes that are coming, but you got to realize that we all work together. If a major portion of the economy is not running, the rest of the economy is not going to be running either. Okay, that's it in a nutshell. To get started, you just get back with the person that referred you, work with them. They obviously got there before you did, and they're starting. You guys can learn together if you're kind of new. Choose the plan that's suitable for you. Suitable means that you can actually do it. In other words, you can actually put go out and buy Bitcoins and put the Bitcoins into the program. Don't put anything in here you can't afford to lose. I really don't think there's going to be any possibility of you losing any money in here, but you could. There's a possible way. You know, when you just renew a contract or something, and for some reason the company goes down for some reason, it's really unlikely, but it could happen. But see, that's not really a loss of money. You got to understand that that's just a reduction in yield. If you get started now and you've been in this thing for a few weeks or a couple months, there's really no way to lose any money, because there's just not that much money in the company. Remember, they don't keep the money. All the money is sent over to you. I'm sorry, Bitcoins. All the Bitcoins are sent over to you in your wallet. That's where you protect them, and that's where you can use them, change them, do whatever you want. All right, so one of the things I want to go over right here is this. The system is 100% automatic. You're working with a computer. The robo-computer knows what to do, but you have to take care of the variables. It doesn't know names. It doesn't know positions. It doesn't know whether you're supposed to be on one side or the other. It doesn't know what payment plan. It only knows what it receives, because if you tell it you want this plan but you don't put in the right amount, you screwed it up. You created a mess. There's nobody there to fix it. Everything is very clear. It's clearly stated. And you got people that know what they're doing here, and you can ask questions. Just double check what you're doing. Those are the only problems we've received, is that people didn't pay attention, and especially the ones that think you know what you're doing. It really isn't hard. but just double check it. Take the extra time, because if you make a mistake, we can't undo it. And if you don't send the money the proper way, nothing can be done. This is new for most people, and so it does take a little time. Just take your time and everything will be just fine. We're not having any problem whatsoever. But once the payment's sent, that's it. Can't retrieve it. Okay, let's open it up for questions and answers and see if anybody has any comments. If anybody's on here is actually using the program right now, please let the other people know what your experience is. We want to make sure that everybody understands how it's going.
Okay, we have Yada. Yada Esters, go ahead.
Yes, I got a question. Why is it that on the left side that you're paid from a percentage based on the left side than the right side? Like on my right side, I have like 9.0 and then 0.35.
You're paid from the low side. It can be either right or left. It just depends on what your team is doing, what the people above you are doing, what kind of spillover you're doing, and actually how many people you're bringing in. If people are sitting there waiting for spillover, that's the wrong way to go.
Yeah, I brought about 5 or 6 in.
Yeah, that's good.
Great.
Keep it up.
Okay, so to qualify yourself for that binary, you have to personally refer one on your left and one on your right. Did you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, great, great. So that, yeah, sounds like you're on the right path.
Now it flips. It'll flip from time to time. One side may be the low side, then the other side may be the low side. And all those points that you've been seeing build up over there, right? All of a sudden, you're pulling them off.
And that's your power leg, where those big points are, and that will be your spillover and stuff coming down from above. All your blessings. So you just have to build that team on the opposite side, and ka-ching, payday every day.
No, that's good. Now, I know I just qualified today, so I'll probably get paid from that tomorrow, right?
Good. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Anytime you have 0.03 or higher, that's when they start kicking out your daily bonuses there.
Yeah, they don't pay it out until they've accumulated 0.033% Bitcoin.
Okay.
Thanks for the question.
Welcome aboard.
Anybody else?
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Let's hear some exciting stories. I haven't heard from Bilmo in a while. Where are you, Bilmo?
You know what I'd like to hear is I'd like to hear some of the reasons that some of the people that don't talk much, how did they make the decision to come over here? I mean, what did they see, or how did they learn about it? What was the basic reason they decided to do it?
Okay, but I want to hear Bilmo first.
Is he here?
Yes, he is.
Oh, okay.
Gosh, where did I start? You know, Kathy, you approached me, you know, and I didn't want to join this thing. I thought it was a HYP. I didn't think there was much to it, to be honest with you, to start with. But then I watched y'all for a week, and I decided I might better climb on board because it looked pretty good. And I'm glad I did because, I mean, you know, I've been here a little over a month, and I'm actually maxing out a position about every 2 days or less now because I got 3 positions and 2 of them are at SPAR 7. One's at 6, and I'm getting ready to bring it to 7. So I have at least one sometimes every day, sometimes every 2 days, maxing out with 8 Bitcoin. And I'm telling you, I've never been in anything that paid like this. I mean, it pays like it's supposed to. It pays like it says it's going to. I mean, it's no problem if you pay attention, like John said, and you just take your time and do what you need to do right. Don't be having other things on your mind at the same time you're doing this. You need to pay attention because there's some places where you can get caught if you're not paying attention. But it just does what it's supposed to do, y'all.
I agree. It's it's the simplest, cleanest little program I've ever been a part of, and I've been a part of a bunch of failures, you know, and I did not want to see this.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I did not want to see. No, I do not want to get involved. Don't talk to me. Talk to the hand, you know. So the next day we were at Spartacus 05 just to test the waters, and we stepped up from there. I think we hit Spartacus 7 within the first 16 days, and I haven't met anybody that's unhappy with this. Now, the problem that they're talking about is when you, the human, don't pick up that full transaction number. You might leave a number off or something when you go to pay. So make sure you get that full number copied off. And we're talking about stepping up here with the abundance that we receive, not having to, dip back into your pocket again. So that's what I'm talking about.
Well,
And William, you are on fire.
Thank you.
William, would you agree with what I've been saying, that if you can prime the pump with a little bit more and not take the low, get up into the higher ones, it goes much faster?
I totally do, because I started at a half a Bitcoin and was able to maneuver my way up pretty fast with that first position. So yeah,
yes.
I totally agree. If you can start, high, it's better, and it's going to be quicker for you to get to the SPAR 7.
And you know what? The amount you paid for the Bitcoin, you got it back in Bitcoin. If you really need it, you can sell it anytime. There's all kinds of people on here that want to buy Bitcoin from people.
Oh, no doubt, yeah.
You just go in the Facebook group and say, I got some Bitcoin for sale. Be careful you don't get run over.
I guarantee you won't have to say it twice. I have people hit me up wanting Bitcoin, but I've been steadily, upgrading and renewing the whole time, and I've been working hard at doing that and trying to make it to the top. So I haven't had a whole lot that I could, actually turn loose, but I have helped a few people that I could.
This actually multiplies faster than rabbits do.
Daggone right it does. And the good thing about it is, if you think about what you're doing when you're upgrading, you don't have to spend that total amount that it's calling for. If you pay attention, you're only paying half, because you're already halfway in at whatever level you are. If you go into the next level, you only got to pay, where you're at. You got to pay that again, and you're at the next level. So you don't have to pay the whole full amount, because you're already halfway in at whatever level you're at.
You just pay the difference.
That's right. You pay the difference.
But it's an easy way to move, because if you go to half a Bitcoin, I mean, that's about as low as I'd really want to go. Half a Bitcoin, even if you just sat there in 90 days, you're going to have a whole Bitcoin.
That's right.
Right?
You will.
And if you start at the 1 Bitcoin in 90 days, just sitting there doing nothing, you've got 2 Bitcoin.
You're going to have 2, yeah.
Right? So the system works. It works.
It works better than anything I've ever seen. I mean, it really does.
Yeah.
I have nothing bad to say about Gladiacoin.
Well, now you know why all those New York bankers and traders are so rich, don't you? They've been doing that kind of stuff for years and years and years and years. And now you guys, this is a generational opportunity.
No doubt.
I don't mean in a business sense. I mean, the way things are changing, you guys are really in the forefront of this stuff. And if you just start researching a little bit and paying attention and listening to Andreas Antonopoulos talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and where this is going, that number, 38% of U.S. jobs gone to robots.
No doubt.
It's going to be more. Believe it. You got to make some changes, guys. You got to get up and moving. And we want to create our own economy, because by me helping you do this and learn how to do this stuff, we're protecting ourselves. We can do what they do in Venezuela now to get food and clothing and shelter. They're using Bitcoin in order to create their own economy, because the government has totally failed. Those guys should be shot, I mean, you should get rid of them, because look what they did to the country. They trashed it. You got nothing. Well, I kind of think that's what's going on here with our country. Look at that, $20 trillion in debt. I mean, it's just crazy.
No doubt. That's what's going on.
Anyway, all right. Well, listen, nobody else has anything to say. We're going to hit the road, because we got people to talk to.
I appreciate it, y'all. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. See ya. All right. Bye, everybody.
No. You can't get out that quick.
Well,
we got Luke over here.
Well, nobody wants to talk to me.
Yeah, they've got their hands up.
Okay. Right.
Don't be hasty. Okay.
Hey, gang. How's it going tonight?
Hey, it's going. How's your life going since you joined us?
Oh, it's just been great. I'm in. So yeah, I've been off since February with an injury, a knee injury, and finally got the surgery on Monday. But in the meantime, I'm sitting at home at my PC, and I'm doing things online. And I started this March 1st. And the gentleman that just finished, got off the mic, was kind enough to share this with me, and been a great mentor and helping me, as well as John and Kathy here. And I doubled my 0.01 Bitcoin, so basically like 110 US. I doubled that position in 6 days, and it's just been off to the races since then. And just inviting people to take a look, and that's all I do. And in the process, here it is, 24th day or so in March, and I've got 6.36 Bitcoin. You know, that's not, you know, a lot, but it's, you know, it's a lot better position I would be in if I hadn't been doing this. And, you know, I would really be trying to hurry back, you know, my rehab and everything on my knee if I didn't have this going. And honestly, I've got people everywhere that are coming to this. I mean, I got somebody started in Italy this morning. I mean, this is a global opportunity, and people are seeing this and they're getting involved and just getting excited. I mean, I've had guys, they just can't sleep after they see this. So it's just really amazing. And I mean, it's been really beneficial.
Look, I appreciate the compliment, buddy. You're doing a great job. You really are. You're a prime example of the kind of person that we need here.
Absolutely.
Hey, thank you, Bill
very
Mo.
much so.
Hey, I'm gonna let you guys go, but man, everybody just find out more information and get started. I mean, you don't have to figure it out. You don't have to micromanage. Just get in with the group and roll.
Get in where you fit in. That's all you got to do.
That's it. We said, what's the best way to attract more people to this opportunity? Somebody's not a great recruiter. Well, as soon as you start seeing that Bitcoin fly into your wallet every day, you're going to recruit, buddy. You'll be joining our Insomniacs Club for sure.
All right, look.
I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, that question also, you know, I keep talking about this book, Double Your Contacts, by Michael Durkin, D-U-R-K-I-N, Durkin. Double Your Contacts. Neat little book. I wish I'd had it when I started in the financial business 40 years ago. And I thought it was just one of these things that I already know everything in here, and I actually learned some things in here, and I thought it's really doggone good. So if you got any hesitation, go get that little book. You won't
Okay, we have, thank you for that. We have Carrie. Go ahead, Carrie. How are you tonight?
Hi, I'm doing great, thanks.
Great.
John said for people to state why they got involved in the program, and I thought that I would give my reasons. And that is because, number one, a trusted friend contacted me and thought I might be interested in this. And I looked at it, and I only looked at it because I trust this person, because I had tried many programs and had failed and failed and failed, as many of us have. And I said, no more programs. I just said no to everything for like 2 years. But because I trusted this fellow, I decided to get involved because I looked at it and I said, this makes sense. And it did. I mean, I was really surprised at all the different angles of how it could go wrong. And I said, no, this makes sense. This is incredible. How genius is this? So you wanted to know why I got involved, and that's why I got involved, and I'm really happy I did.
Oh, great. Well, I'm glad to hear that. That's wonderful.
Great. Good deal.
Hey, Coach Cole has got his hand up.
I appreciate that contribution there, Carrie. I see you on here all the time, and I'm so glad you're speaking up. That's awesome. Keep it up. Okay, we'll go on to Coach. Go ahead, Coach Cola.
Yes, thank you very much. I have a question that somebody asked me I didn't have an answer for. And their question was, is there anywhere where there's any written material about this, for lack of a better word, compensation plan? I heard somebody say it's on a Facebook somewhere, but I don't know where that is, because I heard somebody talking about some kind of a differential payment on the binary, like if somebody lower is at, say for instance, 6% and somebody higher is at 15%, is there a differential for the person that's a higher level? But I'd like to know if there is anywhere where there's something written that won't come.
Everything is on the front of the website. If you go without logging in, just go read the front of the website. That's what we have in writing.
Yeah, that's all of it.
Excellent. I'll check that again. I was looking on the dashboard on the bottom. It has some FAQs.
Yes, very small ones. Just explain some of the terms when you're inside your account. But the front of the website is where most of the written material is. It explains it.
Okay, excellent. I will do that.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, we had Tony Monk saying in the chat room, I got involved because I saw a few friends in this business doing well. I got involved because a few friends of mine on Facebook were showing results. Yeah, if you go to our Facebook group, and that is Gladiacoin Elite Global Leaders, there's over 2,000 members in there now, and you can ask away. You can see their results. It's a phenomenal group of people. They're just so positive. I love that group. It's just you guys are rocking it. You really are. I hate to say that word, rocking it, but you guys are rocking it. And it is exciting. It is exciting.
Well, we got a program that works. I mean, that's the bottom line. We got something that works. And this stuff we've been doing for the last year or so, it's just it's been trash and it hasn't worked.
Right.
But we got something here that works. I mean, it does exactly what it says when it says it's going to do it. So I mean, that's all we can ask for.
One of the things I like to say too about terminology, that when people refer to this as a business, getting into a business, this is not like going into some kind of a multi-level system where you're, got a product sales or something else going on here.
Yeah.
Gladiacoin is in the business of doing trading, right? And what they're doing is allowing us to put some Bitcoins with them to participate and help them get more for trading. I hope they're making 3 to 4 times more than what we're actually getting. But really, they're just paying us a fee to participate in what they're doing. I can't really call this a business because you're not out there buying and selling stuff. It's totally different. You're just taking some of the funds and buying some Bitcoin. It's very analogous to playing those other games over there, like Yoville, Farmville, things like that. People buy things with cash to participate in those games. So you're kind of in a passive situation here. You put some things over there, and I think it's kind of hard to call it a business. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't refer to it as a business because I think IRS and others would want to class it as a business if you say it is. They're going to believe you.
Yeah, they'll take it and run.
Yep. Stay away from those 3-letter agencies. Yeah. We don't need to ruin in our platform.
See, what you guys don't know is that what they've done is they've taken terms. When I talk about being in my business, I'm talking loosely on a slang basis of talking about what I do every day, going here and going there and getting food and groceries and, cleaning up the place. That's my business. But I'm not in the business of financial planning anymore, per se. I'm just using my knowledge to try to help others understand what's going on so that we can all work together to protect ourselves from the stupid people back in Washington and up in the state houses up there doing all these crazy things, thinking that they're some kind of big shot when they're ruining the place.
Yeah.
$6 for a loaf of bread. Give me a break. That's just way too much. It's all because of what they're doing.
Yep. Bitcoin is limited, and it's just going to soar in prices. You can check some of the experts out there. I don't think we mentioned Andreas Antonopoulos tonight. And if you go and you YouTube him, he is the guru that can break down Bitcoin to you. I knew nothing about Bitcoin. I didn't think I wanted to know, but now I can't get enough of it. So go research, go educate. It's awesome.
The only reason you can consider this maybe some kind of business because unlike a lot of these other games, this thing has the potential to be a game changer because it allows us a way. People really want to get their hands on it. So they create a value because they want it to use it, right? And it can function like a currency. So here it is. People see it. They want to get some and start using it. I think it's great. But it's not owned by the government like all that paper money is. They don't own it. They didn't create it. They can't control it.
That's right.
They're going to do their best to attempt to control you and your use of it. Right. That's where you got to start telling them, no, stay away from my business. And I don't mean that in a, you know what I mean. Get out of my life, is in other words. Stay out of my life, that kind of thing.
We just had Mike post in our Facebook group where you can buy Bitcoins to get started. And, of course, you want to get back to the person that invited you here tonight so you can get their personal link and ask questions and get started. Run, don't walk. It's worth it.
John, a couple of things that I'd like to reference to. I've talked to some people today, and they brought this to my attention that, some of these negative people are throwing off on the program and saying this, that, and the other. and I want to refer back to a statement that William Portillo made early on. He pointed out that it's not the little and the little person, little people that's coming in with small amounts that's making this program run. It's the fact that the people that's on higher up above in the bigger levels are going back in daily, some of them, and renewing their contract. That's the lifeblood of this business, not the little people coming in at the bottom. So, if 10 people don't join today, it doesn't hurt the program. The people at the top are going to upgrade and they're going to renew, so the program lives anyway. And
Right.
William pointed that out distinctly early on whenever we first talked with him.
Sure. A lot of the naysayers out there, I see, they're all copying one post that was done by somebody. They continually repeat the same stupid things, and then they do a bait and a switch towards the end about if you want to know really how to get into do a legitimate program, come look at my stuff.
Yeah,
That's another one they do.
Yep.
And they don't understand the program anyway. The guy that wrote that thing that they're all copying and passing around, he doesn't even have it right, which is so funny. I mean, if he's going to explain the program, at least he ought to explain it right, don't you think? Anyway, well, listen, thanks, everybody. We got to go.
Okay, so we'll be back here again Sunday night at 6:30 p.m. That's Pacific Standard Time. And I want you to enjoy a beautiful weekend, everyone, and we'll see you Sunday.
Appreciate you guys doing a great job.
Thank you.
Oh, you too, all of you, and thanks for coming. We'll talk to you Sunday, if not sooner.
We'll do.
Take care.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.